Anybody there? Just playing around with my yarn balls. Wish I could juggle. Wouldn't that be fun? No, that would just not my yarn. Well, good morning. It's Tuesday, September 13th, 9:30 Mountain Standard Time. And that means it's time for a live video chat with me, Sarah, of Posh Pooch Designs. Well, I hope you all are having a lovely day. It's about 49 degrees this morning. Beautiful. Good morning, Ann. It's about 49, probably about 59 by now, degrees outside. Beautiful, crisp morning. I was just loving walking around the yard with the dogs this morning. And I'm a fall girl. I used to be a total sunshine girl. I'm a fall girl. Good morning. Do you have your coffee with you? Don't forget to clink in. All righty. Good morning, Michelle. Glad to see you here. Well, today we have another jam-packed, full video. Lots of new things to show you, lots of old things, and what's going on. So, did you think that was pretty weird? Good morning. I guess I shouldn't play with my yarn balls. Anyway, what a beautiful morning, cool and crisp. Well, today we have lots going on. We're going to discuss, I had a question the other day. It was right after last week's video. I think it was, or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. But I get a lot of questions through my messages and through email. And one of the questions was, she said to me, I'm a brand new crocheter. I'm just learning. And I don't understand the difference between a slip knot and a slip stitch. And then she put in capitals, can you help me? And that's another one of those things that, I just take for granted and I forget, when you're first learning, a lot of terms sound similar, slip knot, slip stitch. And so we're going to talk about that a little bit today. But I went ahead and made a little video. It's about 5 minutes long. It's not long at all. And I posted it on YouTube thinking that just a few people would like it. But I've come to find out that a lot of people are also confused about what's the difference between a slip knot and a slip stitch. And then I got some more questions because of that video. And so next week we're going to be talking about how to hold your crochet hook. And one of the girls was she was showing me a picture, and she had her hook facing this way, but with the hook up like this, and she was crocheting like this. And all I could think of is, ow, in the shoulder. So next week, we're going to talk about ways to hold your crochet hook. And remember, everybody does it different, whatever's most comfortable for you. But we're going to talk about that next week. Today, before we get started with all the new stuff, we're going to talk about, like I said, slip knot and slip stitch. So just to clarify, a slip knot is how we begin to chain. It's the first thing we do before we start chaining when we're going to do a project that requires us to chain. A slip stitch is actually a crochet stitch, and it's called a slip stitch because you're just slipping one loop over another. And let me give you just a short demonstration. So you have your yarn, set my hook down, and your pattern says chain 10. So the best way to me is to put your yarn over your finger and loop around, and then take this yarn and stick it in that hole and pull your short string. And that's your slip knot. Now, make sure you leave yourself a nice long tail so you can weave that in later. And that's what a slip stitch is. Let me show you again. I put it around my finger, I give it a little twirl, I hold the little place where it's twirled here, and I take the loop from this finger and just stuff it in there, and I grab it, and then I pull the end with the short tail. That's a slip knot. Anytime you're going to crochet and start with a chain, you have to start with a slip knot. Okay, so a slip knot's purpose, I'm going to chain a few chains here to get us going. The slip knot's purpose is you don't stitch in that slip knot. It's basically the knot that keeps your chain from unraveling. And so I'm going to go ahead and just stitch across here, make some real quick single crochets, and I'll show you. roll out my ball there. All right, I just did a few single crochets here. And when you get to the end of your row, you've stitched single crochets across, and you don't stitch in this stitch. That is a knot to keep your project from unraveling. Okay, so the slip knot is how we begin our project when we're going to chain. So what is the slip stitch, or the slip stitch? See, I'm confusing myself. All right, slip knot is how we start our project if we're going to chain. Good morning, Melissa. I didn't see you clink in. Good morning. Now, so what is a slip stitch? And like I said, it's where you slip one loop over another. And the way that's done is you don't yarn over or anything. You just go in the stitch that you're going to work in, and you pull a loop up, and you'll have two loops on your hook. And this stitch right here that you just looped on and pulled through, you're just going to slip that right through that loop that's already on your hook. And this is a great technique for if you're going to go across a project, but you don't want to increase height. In other words, if you're going to make a buttonhole, you would slip stitch across, and then you'd turn, and then you would chain across, and you'd end up with those holes in there. Or for instance, if you want your project to curve like this on the top, you might do slip stitch, then maybe some double crochets, and then slip stitch, and you end up with flat and high, flat and high. It's a great way to move across your project, and it's also a really neat, if you look close, I don't know if you can tell on this one, it makes this nice braid. Let me do another one here. Put your hook through, grab that loop, and then pull that through, if it doesn't come off your hook, that is, and then pull that through that loop that's already on that hook. We'll do one more. I'm just going to chain a couple so it doesn't come unraveled. And you can see it makes this nice flat chain. And it's really pretty. You can do that on the edge of a hat, a blanket, anything. Any project that you're working on, it makes a nice, nice braid. And so that's the difference, in a nutshell, between a slip knot and a slip stitch. A slip knot is how we begin a chain, and a slip stitch is a loop that we slip right through the other loop that makes a nice little braid on the top of our project that we're working on. Now, always remember that Google is your friend. And I tell people this all the time because sometimes I might explain it a certain way and you still don't understand. Go ahead and go to Google. One of the sites that I use all the time is Crochet for Dummies. And it's not videos, it's pictures. And sometimes you can see a video 100 times, but sometimes you just need to see the pictures. And they're like cartoon drawn out pictures. They're not physical pictures, or photography, I should say. And I use that a lot. And a lot of times someone will ask me a question and I'll say, here, let me send you a link. And then they're like, you sent me to Crochet for Dummies? Do you think I'm dumb? And not at all, not at all. I use that site. So, and I really liked it because, like I said, it's just pictures and you can go, oh, I see what she's doing. So go ahead and, you know, if you're still not clear on that, just go to, it's crochetfordummies.com, and they have a little search thing in there. Good morning, Callie. Did you clink in? Everybody got their coffee today? It's cooling off here, so I'm drinking coffee, but it might still be warm where you are. As a matter of fact, tell me your temperature. I would like to know how warm it is there. Like I said, I've become a fall girl, and I love the winter, and I love the snow, and I'm like a weirdo, but that's okay. I used to be a totally beach girl where every vacation we took, I had to go to the beach. I had to go. And now I just can't even tolerate the sun hardly. Oh, well. So anyway, if you're just tuning in, go ahead and watch the beginning. 78 degrees. Now, see, to me, that's about heaven. 54 is nice, too. And, but if you're just tuning in or you missed the beginning, go ahead and you know, you can always watch it over when we're done. But also, is it still 48 here in Parker, Ann? Oh, right. I love it. My phone said 49, and then when I checked it a few seconds ago, it said 59. So maybe that's what the temperature is inside my house. I don't know. I prefer it to be a little cold. I'd rather wear a sweater. So anyway, if you missed the beginning of the video about when I just explained, there's also a short video on YouTube, and I'll link that here so that you can watch it. And it's down close on my hand, so you can, see what I'm doing a little bit more. 87 in Germany. Oh, well, that's nice too. I mean, it sure beats 110 down in Texas, huh? Anybody here from Texas where it's been so hot? All right, so we've got lots of things to show you today and discuss. Now, let me drop that yarn on the floor there. We've been working on our crochet along, and we've done the first 3 steps. We did the body, and then we did the little head, and then we did the 4 little paws. And tomorrow's video is going to be the end. If you've missed it, it's okay. It's all on the blog. All the videos are on YouTube. You can go there and do it, and it'll always be there. And we did the little Chihuahua rag doll, and it's so much fun. I'm having a blast making more of these, and you can do any kind of ears you want. Now, I can't remember her name all of a sudden. I've lost it, but go into Ravelry and look at the projects on this. She did it with the Red Heart fuzzy yarn, and she made her whole thing already, and it's all done in this soft cream and brown yarn. This puppy looks real. It is beautiful. She did a fantastic job. And my brain, I can't remember. Arizona is always hot. Yeah, it is. I've been through there. So that's what's going on this week with the crochet along. One more step tomorrow. We're going to assemble the whole thing together. And be sure and post those pictures in my group or Ravelry or on my Facebook page. Any of them's great. I just love to see your pictures. I'm going to toss his head over there. All right. Now, the videos that we did this week, we did this silly little pumpkin coaster. And it's so much fun. It has this nice little ridge where you can put your cup in it where it won't slide off. It fits a wine glass or a coffee mug or a glass of water or whatever, soda, can of soda. It fits all of those. And I made these in worsted weight 4, but I have discovered that there is a really nice cotton and a nice bright orange, and cotton works great for this pattern as well. Simple little pattern. That one we did Monday. No, this is Tuesday. We did it last Thursday, I think. That's a new one. So I'm going to put that down in my stash. And then yesterday, I believe, or was it Friday? Can't remember. We did this one. And the neat thing about this one, this is a little pumpkin square. I call it the sweet little pumpkin square. But the neat thing about this is how versatile it is. Because I did one like this. And then this is the solid one that my tester did. And then this one is on stripes also from one of my testers. So this pattern is really, really versatile. It's a 6-inch square. And it works up great as a pumpkin. Or anything you want. You could make it an apple. You could put a smiley face on the pumpkin like we did on the emoji smile and make it a jack-o'-lantern. I mean, it's a really great, easy pattern. And that one's out there also. And then this week we have one more pumpkin pattern that we're going to do, and it is this one, and it comes in 3 sizes. And these are just fun to sit around the house. We're going to do this pattern probably tomorrow. Post that one tomorrow. And then I had a couple requests. One of them is for this cowl. And this is called the Linked Up Cowl. And it's really cool. It's just a really neat. And she's trying to work my pattern and she's confused to how they link together. She's not getting it. So I thought, okay, well, we'll do this one next week or maybe the week after. It's a really simple cowl and you can make it however long you want. So that one's going to be next week. This is a pattern I already have. It's not a new one. I'm just going to be making a video on it. All right, and then the other thing I had a request for was this one. And this is just the African flower motif that I did probably 2 years ago. And I did it in bright colors. And one of my girls that's on my Facebook page asked me if I could add this one to my videos. So I have a long list, and so I'm trying to get through those, but it does take a little bit of time. And so, and I want to make this because they're fun. And the colors are great. You can do lots and lots of colors. And the one that I have on my Ravelry right now is just really bright colors. And so I decided to go with some of the muted colors. And this is just Red Heart with Love. So, so that one I'm hoping to do next week as well. And then a new pattern you can see behind me. This one is made with the Karen Cakes, and it's the one that's red, that's called Red Velvet. That one we released yesterday. It's a brand new pattern. It's called the Step Into Fall scarf. It's a really big scarf. It's really long, and you can make that whole scarf with just one Karen Cakes. And I even had some left over, and I added a little bit of fringe. But that's a new blog that went out yesterday, and also it's on YouTube. I made a little, just a short video to show you how to do the stair steps and how to do the ruffles. And so that's a new pattern. And then lastly, you've been seeing all these great big scarves, and they're called, oh my goodness, my mind just went blank. I can't remember what they're called, but they're enormous scarves and gigantic and thick and fluffy. And so I have this Stellar from Red Heart that I've been wondering what I should do with it. And I had 3 skeins of it, and so I have been working on this one, and I think I showed this before when I was talking about how to work with the bouclé chunky yarns. And so I'm making a great big thick and chunky oversized, that's what they're called, oversized scarf. And this will be a new pattern, and I'm doing it really easy because this yarn can be difficult to work with, as we've talked in the past. But I just love this particular yarn. Can you see the sparkles in that? I don't know if you can see it. Let me turn it this way. But this one, I think this one, yeah, this one is called Nova. And it has beautiful colors in it. Lots of deep space, like stars colors. Like when a star bursts, all those beautiful colors. And then it has a string of gold running through it. I wish you could see that sparkle. It's just, oh, there it is. It's just gorgeous. So anyway, that's a new pattern that's going to be a free pattern on my blog. Hopefully, maybe not next week, but the week after. The way it kind of works is with some of my older free patterns, I'm making new videos for them and just hooking them to those older patterns. And then with the new patterns, the older patterns, we're going through and retesting them. And so that takes a little bit of time to make sure. And what's really funny is some of my patterns that I wrote about 7 or 8 years ago are really bad. Not horribly bad, really, but it's just a lot of things were left out, like sizing or commas and punctuation in wrong places. And so we're fixing a lot of that stuff. And along with that, like my Scooty pattern, we decided to go ahead and make it in 2 sizes, because the old Scooty pattern was more of a fitted hood, and people are wearing them bigger and more chunky. And so I'm using the same yarn, I'm using the same hook. I just changed the pattern and we retested it up so that if you like a bigger, floppier hoodie, then that will work for you as well. So it kind of has 2 sizes in there. And so that's what we're doing with a lot of our older patterns. And then the new patterns, you know, as I design them, they have to be tested. They have to be worked out, the amounts of yarns, and then pictures and photography and video. And so those take a little bit of time. But that's okay, because I love what I do. And I love designing, I love testing, I love filming, I love photography. So I love all of it. So it's a lot of fun. So anyway, that's a lot of stuff. I showed you a lot of things today. We have a lot going on. New patterns, new videos, and of course our crochet along that's going to end tomorrow. Now I am planning on doing another crochet along in November. And in October, I was asked to write a gluten-free cookie recipe. And so I've been experimenting a little bit and not liking what I'm doing. I mean, if it's not going to taste good, nobody's going to eat it. So I've been experimenting, and I located I think it's Pillsbury, I can't remember which one, gluten-free flour that has a nice texture. And I think the problem that I was trying to mix too many things instead of just getting a set flour. And so I'm going to be writing a recipe, and I'm going to test it out on my granddaughter, see if she likes it too. But anyway, I'm going to be doing a gingerbread cookie. And in the process, they also asked me to make a recipe as well as design a pattern to go with it. And so I'm not going to tell you what the pattern is, but it's turning out really, really cute. And so that's coming in October. And then I have some little puppets. I think I showed them to you before that we're still doing in the testing phase. And there's just so much coming. I've got a lot of new Christmas stuff coming. And I absolutely love this time of the year because we go from you know, fall and Halloween fun stuff to Thanksgiving and more fall stuff and turkeys. And then we go to Christmas and holidays and trees and ornaments and decorations. And then January is all about snow and snowmen. And then, you know, we go right into Valentine's, and it's like one holiday after another, and this is like the kickoff for me, and I just love it. I'm busy from morning to night. My hands get tired from crocheting and knitting, but I just love it. It's so much fun. And the best part about all of that is that I get to share it with you all. I love to see things you've made with my patterns. So make sure that you just take a couple of seconds when you make something off one of my patterns, that you post a picture to, you know, the PPD, Puppy Love Crochet group, or on my Facebook page, but especially on Ravelry, because it's really fun to go in and look at those projects and to see all the different yarns that were used and modifications, because I even like it when you change something, like for instance, well, even with our Crochet Along, you know, I've told everybody, change it however you want. If you want it to be a kitty or a bear or a rabbit or a tiger or kangaroo, whatever you want to do with it, an owl, anything, you know, and then add that in those projects. And the reason I love that so much is it shows other people what they can do with my patterns, because it's fun. And I love to share my patterns with you. Just remember, in saying all of that, my patterns are all copyright, so is my photography, and so make sure if you share the pattern, you're sharing the link, not the actual pattern itself. And the best way to do that is just to share it on Pinterest. Just pin the picture and the link, and it goes right to Ravelry or right to my blog or whatever. So, but I mean, as much as I love doing what I do it, you know, a lot of it is for your enjoyment too. So I couldn't do what I do without you. I could, it just wouldn't be as much fun. So anyway, that's what our video is all about today. Slip knot, slip stitches, new videos, new patterns, crochet along, lots of fun patterns. So anyway, I'm going to let you go. Thank you all for stopping in and having a sip of coffee with me. I so much enjoy these, getting to know you and you getting to know me. And remember, if you have a question, I've got a list that I'm going to be going through from week to week. If you have a question, never think it's silly, never think it's stupid, ever. Just message it to me or put it in the links or in the comments after the video, and I will be so happy to answer your questions. And like I always say, if I don't know the answer, I will try to find it. So have a wonderful Tuesday and keep on crocheting. Well, thank you and bye-bye.